smart man once said to never let your schooling interfere with your education. At the Smart Center, we learn and prepare for our future. Our state-of-the-art facility and excellent teachers provide the tools we need to succeed. Call the Smart Center Academy and start your child's future today.
Welcome back. Now, can I get happy?
Absolutely.
Can I get happy?
Yes, go for it.
Now, I am so happy because it's not just because our first guest is my cousin, which I'm proud to say, and I said it numerous times, but I think this is the type of person that men, you should look at this type of woman that you would want to have in your life or know or encourage your young daughters to become. And ladies, if you're a young lady and you're thinking about dropping out of school or other things that's stopping you in life, this is a model of a woman, I think, other than your mother, but this is a model of a woman that I think you should try to emulate moving forward and give you that drive to move forward. And I know my cousin, she's like, I'm hyping it up too much for her because she's like, but I am so proud of her, you know, to know her and everything. So without any more talking from me, I want to introduce our first guest, Dr. Colona Roberts.
Dr.
Hello.
Roberts, thank you so much for joining us.
You're
it's
welcome.
a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you.
So we were just watching about your smart centers. Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about your smart smart centers?
The Smart Center was developed because we noticed that children was more into technology now. So we got the name SMART out of the technology piece. Academically, reading, writing, mathematics, science, social studies, all of those things are incorporated, but technology is one of the things that was driving our children today. So we called it the Smart Center because we wanted to introduce computers and everything related to global education. And you'll see those kids on computers doing things with kids all over. You know, some of our children have linked up with pen pal. What do you call them? Pen pals, and they would write
absolutely,
to our
yeah.
older students. Was writing letters to students in other countries at one time.
Wow.
So it was really important feature, and our kids are smart.
They are. They're so smart.
It's really a name that you want to tag to children.
Right.
When you tell children they're smart, they believe that they're
They
smart.
do, absolutely.
So the word smart is a big tool for us, big ticket item.
Now, when I was just introduced you, I told a story in the green room about how you started everything, where you did everything on your own, and that was the first impressive thing that I've noticed. So, how many centers do you have, and are you doing it in any other location? I know you mentioned something about the church you attend.
And can you talk about the beginning, how you got started from the very beginning?
I have 3 centers now, 3 locations, and I started out because as a school teacher, I'm a retired teacher. My 8th grade boys was coming to me and they couldn't read. They was reading on what we call a pre-primer level, and it meant like before kindergarten. And I said to my mother, we're getting all of these young children in, boys especially, and they can't read. What are we going to do about it? So I decided to open up a center, and that was I was actually still teaching school. And I said, well, I don't know how I'm going to do it and still teach. But my mom was retired, and she came on board. She came out of retirement, and she said, I'll help you. And that was the first center, and that was on Lancaster Avenue. It was called Colona's Kids.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it's still there, but the building's there, but the center's not.
Okay.
I moved to the other location, a new location. And that's how it got started, basically. Our children, it was a need, and it was a need for public school children, boys and especially.
So now there are 3 centers, and when we put this segment on YouTube, we'll make sure that we list all
Okay.
3 addresses.
All 3.
But when I was preparing for our interview, we showed some of the programs that are available at the Smart Center, but what really stuck out to me was that tiny baby curriculum that you have.
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Babies are smart. And anybody that has a child, young child, babies are doing some things now that we never could imagine them doing. If you see them with those phones, they're tapping them, they're telling you to open it.
Right.
They're hitting it, they're reading letters, numbers, colors. So you want to get babies at a young age. Colors are important, numbers are important. They can learn. And the earlier you get them, the smarter they are.
It's funny, I was at an Apple store a while ago, and I was looking at phones, and this toddler,
Yes.
walked up to me and obviously couldn't reach the phone, so I handed it to him, and he just went on, you know, and he was tiny, like maybe, he didn't even look, he was 2.
Yeah, they're babies, and they can work it. You can, if you look at some of the videos that we have on the Smart Center, some of the things that we have, you'll see children with their iPads, and they're working those iPads. And if you want to set up your computer lab now, just get a 12-year-old,
Right,
or
yeah.
13-year-old, and they'll set up the whole thing for you. Kids are technology savvy, more so than I could ever be. Yeah, so babies are important. It's important to get your child in a center early. They say the first 7 years are the most important years, and believe it, it is. Everything that you do with them at an early age is a foundation.
Right.
It's building. It's like building blocks, building upon each other. So you teach them their letters, their colors, their numbers. They're constant. They don't change.
Right.
So if they learn them early, they know them. Phonics is so important to reading. So we want to, in our young program with babies, we give them apple, apple, ball, ball, blah, blah, blah. They learn the sounds. Once they learn the sounds, they can put the words together. And it's so important. They hear these things, and it becomes something almost natural to them. The earlier you give it to them, the better.
Right.
Now you have the Smart Center, and I haven't asked you about everything that you do, because I always say you do so many things, but do you have any other businesses or any other? I know you have the thing I asked you about, the business classes.
For the classes, well, I started a consultant business over 10 years ago, only because once you get into business, people want to know what you do and how you do it. And it would be phone calls all day, 20, 30 people at a time. So I started having workshops, and it developed into a consulting business. When you want to do a business, you can't just sit there with a person on the telephone and talk to them and get everything out of it. So what I started doing was saying, we'll have classes and we'll teach people how to open a business. And that's where the consulting piece came in. And it really took off. So now we have workshops, we have classes, we teach people about grant writing, starting a business, where to find money, how to set up a business plan, how to set your business up. People want to do a business, but they don't realize you have to have money.
Right.
And most people come and they think that it's grants out there. There's really no grants available for things like that. It used to be, but now the economy's bad. So I tell people, you have to have your own money. Save your money, and don't come trying to open a business and say, well, the government's going to give me money to do it. They're not going to do it. You know, so you basically
these
do it on your
classes
own.
are only in Philadelphia. And your cousin asked if you could bring it to Delaware, so I guess if I get a drawing and do my work over here, it's a possibility somewhere down the line.
I travel and do classes.
Do you?
Yes.
Already?
Yes, I do classes all over.
Okay.
And I'm a state certified trainer, so I do classes in all kinds of centers and schools also. I'll go to New York, I'll go to Washington, I'll go wherever I'm necessary to do the classes.
Do you ever have these business seminars for youngsters? Like
Of course.
Okay. Can you talk
Of
about
course.
those?
We have young ladies, young men who want to start businesses, and they come, and I have a young lady, Treasure. I don't know if her mother's listening, call her. If you're listening, Treasure just started a tie-dye business.
Oh, wow.
And I put it on my page, so any young person that wants to start a business, we'll promote it and help them to start their business if they need help financially or so. We find ways to donations and tools and things they may need, clothing items. Like she's doing clothing, so maybe someone has a box of shirts or something they might want to donate, and she can tie-dye those shirts and make
Right.
extra money. But children, it's important to start them early, and they know about money. If anything, you know, they know how to spend it, and children are our consumers. Any product that comes out, you really want a child to grasp it and love it, because parents will buy it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they're going to buy it. Children drive the economy when it comes to products.
Or aunties will buy it.
Yes,
I buy
of course.
whatever they want.
Of course. You will buy it for them. I do the same thing. I have a niece and a nephew, AJ, Jordan, a couple other nieces and nephews.
Right.
Whatever they want, we get it.
Whatever they want.
Whatever they want, we get it.
Yes.
So if you have a product, you want to gear it towards a child. But a child in business is a special. I started young. I think I started my first business at age 17, clothing, selling clothes. First out the trunk of my car, then at a little store. And
that.
you remember
Do
that?
you?
I was in high
remember
school.
that.
Yeah. And I always had the entrepreneur edge, and it worked, you know. But I always had a job, but you make more money in your business.
Right.
So you really want to gear young people towards working, but also think about everybody's not going to own a business, but if you can, and if they have it in them, promote it. I tell parents that all the time. Whatever you see in them that's going to drive them with the economy and helping them to make money, help them.
Right.
Yeah, help them. Put them in touch with people like myself, and who will help them to show them exactly what to do.
Now, is there any contact information you can give to our audience?
Well,
either phone or website? Email?
Yes, I'm always on my phone, 610-742-2804. I can always be reached on that. And our consulting business, www.crobertsconsultant.com. And you can leave me an email message there also.
Okay.
So.
And we'll make sure that that information is trailing on the bottom of this when we
Okay.
post the video.
Okay.
We're going to thank you for coming, but before we wrap up, you recently took a large trip.
Yes,
Beautiful
I did.
trip. And we're going to show a little bit of footage
Oh,
of that.
cool, okay.
Where'd you go?
Went to Egypt. And that was for my 59th birthday.
Okay.
No,
And-
50, I thought you was like 45 or
we could leave it like that. Well, for my birthday, my daughter and I always travel, and this year we decided to go to Egypt, and it was wonderful. We were at the pyramids. I think he had some footage of me at that pyramid. It was
Yeah.
horrible.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Who else can go through a pyramid look that beautiful? You look so beautiful. I'm like,
Listen.
is she in a pyramid?
I was in the pyramid. It was claustrophobic. It was hot. I didn't know what to expect. We had to bend down and walk through it. But the trip itself was amazing. And just to be there and just to see what our ancestors built.
Right.
And to see the writing on the wall, it made you know, you just touch it and you just felt so special.
Is that a trip you've always wanted to take?
It's somewhere I always wanted to go. Yes, I think all of us deserved at least one time to go to Egypt.
Right.
And see what it is it's a mystery. And it's something that we don't understand and they can't explain it, but it was done.
It is something
Yeah.
that I would like to do.
Yes, I think you would love it. You would
So,
love it.
Dr. Roberts, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so very
We
much.
look forward to having you on the program again.
Okay. I think I'll be more prepared.
You're
better
prepared now.
You
You're
know.
fine.
I
And
thought-
maybe you could
well,
bring some of your
I
laundry.
told Dwayne, I said, I thought I was going to be on the radio.
I said, no, go get yourself beautiful. It ain't going to be hard to do.
You're going to be on
and
TV.
we'll
I'm
see
like,
you.
television. I don't want to be on the radio. Okay. But I thank you guys so very
You're
much.
very
and thank you
welcome.
for having me and the Smart Center.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
So we're going to ask Avin to please play that video that we posted, that we pulled from Facebook. And we're asking you at home to stay tuned. And we'll be back with the Canaan Church Business Ministry. Is that
That
right?
is correct.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh boy, this is not good. Oh, you going down? Are you going down? Yes. Baby.
Go down. Go down. عبدو الثاني والثالث حلوين مش مفهومش الصعوبة دي يا عم هادي.
This is inside the pyramid. This is no joke.
لا الهرم الثاني والثالث مفهومش الصعوبة دي.
It's hot. You get claustrophobia. It's
نعم.
built of limestone.
يا حبيبي ده
This
ده
is the
مدينة
largest
الله يا عم
pyramid.
هادي.
Yeah. We had to go inside of it.
لا أنا
Is Vita coming down?
عادية جدا.
We can't wait to get out of here. This is no joke.